The co-main event is a highly anticipated rematch from their matchup in April. It features James Martin, who is looking to win his second straight over New Jersey's very own Vito Mielnicki Jr. Vito has revenge and redemption on his mind. The event brought to you by TGB Promotions. Also, to begin the night, we will see unbeaten prospect Joey Spencer as he will go head-to-head against Dan Carpensi. Now, following our Fox broadcast, we continue with action on FS1 with PBC Fight Night starting at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific time. The event brought to you by TGB Promotions. The promoter is Tom Brown of TGB Promotions, the president, also Vice President Brittany Goosen Brown. They are very excited to promote Saturday night's event in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center. Now let's meet the fighters involved in our co-main event of the evening. This young fighter, 8-1 with 5 wins coming by way of knockout, turned pro in 2019 and will be looking to avenge his only career loss on Saturday night. And, you know, he's fighting in his home state of New Jersey. I've met with him and have known him for many, many years. And I'll tell you this, that he's the most focused and determined that he ever has been over the course of his career. He comes from a great family, outstanding trainers, and he is no doubt focused on gaining that victory over James Martin. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vito Mielnicki Jr. We have Vito Mielnicki Jr.
What's going on, guys? You can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. Vito, tell us about how you're feeling and how excited are you for 2 days from now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. It's obviously in front of my hometown, family, friends, everyone's going to be there. But first of all, I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank PBC for giving me the opportunity to fight this kind of fight in front of my hometown at the Prudential Center. And I'm really excited. I can't wait to put on a dominant performance Saturday night.
All right, now let's meet the man that will be standing across the ring from Vito on Saturday night. A big night of boxing on Fox. It is PBC Fight Night at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time from Prudential Center in New Jersey. He has a record of 7 wins, 2 losses, looking to make it 4 wins in his last 5 fights. He looked outstanding in his recent bout in April. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the city of brotherly love, here is James Martin. James, how are you?
Good.
How are you feeling heading into your rematch against Vito Mielnicki Jr.? You guys had an exciting fight, the first one, and I think we're all pumped up to see the next one, the rematch on Saturday night, live on Fox and Fox Deportes.
So good. I'm looking for another victory Saturday.
All right, at this time, if we have questions from the media, make sure to raise your hand. And also, when you hear one of the members of our PR team call upon you, unmute yourself. So if you have questions for Vito Mielnicki Jr. and James Martin, raise your hand. And then once we call upon you, unmute yourself and then ask your question to the fighters. I'll turn it over to Andrew Roberts and Sam Jackson to lead the media questions. Gentlemen.
Thanks very much, Ray. We'll go ahead and take our first question. Jeremy Harridges with Fansided. Jeremy, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions, please.
Hi, gentlemen. First question's for Vito. Vito, I know last fight didn't go the way that you wanted it to. What do you think were the biggest factors that played into that loss?
Yeah, I think it just all comes down to preparation. I think when you have a real camp and you're ready to go in a real 8-round fight and you're prepared, you have no doubts going in your mind going into the ring. You're able to put on a great performance, and I think that's going to show on Saturday night.
Looking back on the film for that fight, what were some of the things that you noticed, or what was your reaction to watching that fight back?
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously watched it a whole lot. I've watched it plenty of times, and like I said, you guys will see the best version of me on Saturday night.
I know that fight was higher than the typical welterweight limit. Was trying to lose that weight the thing that really made things difficult for you?
Is trying to what?
Lose weight or come down to a lower weight. Was that something that proved to be difficult?
No, not at all. like I said, I mean, that fight was at 152. I'm going down to 147 for this fight. So the weight had nothing to do with anything.
Question for James. James, looking back at your performance, what did you notice about that fight that you can replicate in this bout?
Like he couldn't handle the pressure, so I got forced the pressure again this fight.
If he notices that in that last fight that pressure was something to expect and tries to work around that, do you feel like you can also box with him and not just try to get in close?
Yeah, I feel like I could box with him too. I got different styles.
Sounds good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. Our next question is going to come from John Cudney. John, you can unmute yourself and please ask your questions.
Hi. Thanks for being on today, guys. So this is a question first for James. So your name is billed first. You won the last fight. You're basically being presented as the A side. I just want you to talk about if you feel like you are the A side in this fight and what that feels like.
It feels good to be on the A side since I won the last fight.
Do you know, are you entering the ring first or second?
I don't know yet. I'm not sure.
Okay, I was just curious. Wondering if you can also answer, this is being billed as Vito's hometown fight, but you're from not too far away. Are you expecting a lot of supporters there in the building?
Yeah, I mean, this my hometown too. So I'm gonna make it my hometown.
Okay, very good. And the last question for you is, the first fight, it was, an upset based on, the betting odds and stuff and the billing. Was this a hard fight to make for the rematch? Are you confident you can repeat your performance from the last fight?
Absolutely, yes. I'm definitely confident I can pull out another victory.
Okay, very good. Vito, questions for you. So I have some of the same questions I'd just like to throw to you. So this is in, it's relatively a hometown fight for both of you. Just want you to talk about what your support is going to be like in the building if you're expecting to have more supporters there versus James.
Yeah, but definitely it's going to be an electric night in the building. I know we have a lot of people coming that night, but I have one thing on my mind, and that's just putting on a great performance, a dominant performance. Obviously, it'll be great in front of my family and friends, but that's the only thing on my mind going into Saturday night.
Okay, very good. So related to that, the first fight was a tough fight. James is someone who has, an amateur background, comes from a fighting family. The first fight didn't go your way, but did you have any hesitation about taking the rematch immediately? And I want you to talk about your confidence going into this fight.
No, I was the one who wanted the rematch immediately. My whole team knows what kind of person I am, and I have all winners around me. So going into it, right after the last fight, we knew what was next, and we just went back to the drawing board. I'm as confident as ever coming into this fight, so I'm ready to go.
Okay, very good. And this is the last question. I'll pose it to both of you. Vito, if you want to answer first. So this is the first fight I believe you've had back with a crowd since the start of the pandemic. And it's a hometown fight for both of you. I just want to hear from both of you, Vito first, what it's going to be like fighting in front of a live crowd again.
Yeah, I mean, I actually fought in Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, so there's definitely going to be more people at this one than when I fought there because I fought early on in the night. So, but like I said, it's going to be a fun night. It's going to be loud in the arena. It's going to be a great environment.
Okay, James, same question to you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna feel good because I had my last fight. I had to fight in the bubble, so this time it's gonna feel good to fight in front of fans.
Okay, very good. Okay, thanks for your time. You guys have been extremely generous, and good luck to both of you on Saturday night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, John. Our next question is going to come from JR Bell. JR, you can unmute yourself and ask your questions, please.
All right. So it's first question to Vito. Going into this particular fight, you were talking about your confidence going into this fight, but also could you talk about like coming at your weight at around 147 pounds in comparison to the last fight?
You said, how do I feel?
Yeah, as far as like your camp this time around.
Oh yeah, we definitely had a great camp. You know, we set up a camp house in Jersey. Obviously, we brought in great sparring. Like I said, I feel great. It's the best version of me. So we're gonna put on a great show for everyone Saturday night.
Now, did you kind of underestimate, what James was going to do in that first fight, and maybe that kind of like attributed to like your slow start?
Nah, I ain't underestimate nobody. Every fight I go into, I take it as a world title fight. It all comes down to preparation. And I mean, when you have 4 weeks to prepare for a fight, I mean, what are you gonna do? That's what happens. Like I said, you'll see the best version of me Saturday night, and I look to put on a dominant performance in front of like all the people in the arena and millions watching around the world.
Gotcha. And my last question is for James Martin there. James, like you said, coming off, you win over Vito Mielnicki, how is your confidence going into this particular fight and how you're able to prepare for this particular rematch?
Nothing's good. I feel strong. So I could beat him again.
Gotcha. Thank you very much, though.
All right.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and have. Thank you very much, Andrew. We're going to go ahead and turn it over to James Martin and Vito Mielnicki Jr. for final comments. We appreciate their time. We're very much looking forward to their rematch on Saturday night, live on Fox. It is PBC Fight Night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time, brought to you by TGB Promotions. Tickets still available. Ticketmaster.com, Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Vito, give us your final thoughts as you prepare for your rematch against James Martin.
Yeah, just everyone go out. If you haven't gotten your ticket yet, go get your ticket. It's a great night of boxing. We got a lot of local guys in the card as well. It's gonna definitely expect fireworks from all the fighters on the card, and expect a dominant performance from me. You're gonna see the best version of me that night, and I hope to see everyone there, everyone loud, making a lot of noise. It's gonna be electric in the arena.
Thank you very much, Vito. James, give us your final synopsis as you prepare to take on Vito Mielnicki Jr. for a second time.
Just tune in and watch. You want to see fight week 2 from me. Definitely gonna get the victory again.
All right. Thank you very much to James Martin, Vito Mielnicki Jr. The best of luck to both of you.
Thank you, Ray. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Now let's transition to our main event of the evening. We all know that fight fans around the world love seeing the heavyweights go at it. And we have a heavyweight main event. Now, originally, it was supposed to be Gerald Washington, but he tested positive to COVID-19, but thus insert Jonnie Rice, who will be taking on Michael Coffey. Michael Coffey's undefeated, 12-0 with 9 knockouts, but let's meet his new opponent with a record of 13 wins, 6 losses, 1 draw, 9 wins coming by way of knockout. Originally from South Carolina, now fighting out of Los Angeles. His losses have all come against undefeated fighters. He went the distance against Efe Ajagba last September. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jonnie Rice. Jonnie, how you feeling heading into your main event matchup against Michael Coffey?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Feeling very prepared, feeling excited, actually. Feeling grateful. Obviously, I don't wish, anyone to, be unhealthy. So that I was very upset about that, But when it's time for your opportunity, it's time for your opportunity. You can just be grateful for the opportunity and wish Gerald Washington a speedy recovery.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Jonnie. Yes, we wish Gerald Washington a speedy recovery, but we are looking forward to you stepping inside the ring and competing against Michael Coffey. Let's talk to the man who you are going to be battling on Saturday night at Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. He's undefeated, 12-0 with 9 knockouts from the Bronx, training in Orlando, Florida. He spent time in our United States Armed Forces. He's a Marine Corps veteran who picked up boxing after returning from overseas. He has sparred with the likes of former heavyweight champion of the world, Deontay Wilder, and heavyweight contender Adam Kovnatsky, most recently having picked up a highlight reel knockout over Darmani Rock in January on Fox. He's won 4 straight wins by knockout. Really burst onto the scene last August during, following, when we were in the bubble on the pandemic. And my goodness, has he really made some big waves and looking to take that next step. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undefeated Michael Coffey. Michael.
How you doing? Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Michael, how are you feeling heading into your main event matchup? I mean, my goodness, last August, you were on television. You made your television debut, but now you're headlining Big Fox in less than a year. How surreal is it for you?
Again, like I said many times, I feel blessed. It's definitely like, something that keeps me smiling. I know this is not a normal situation that I'm in, and I'm ready to make the most of it.
Well, we are very much thrilled to be able to watch you display your talent against Jonnie Rice. We know you guys are going to go to battle. And now I want to turn it over to the members of our PR team, Sam and Andrew. I'm sure the media has questions for the both of you. If you have questions, make sure to raise your hand. And when we call upon you, unmute yourself. So I'll turn it over to Sam and Andrew for questions from the media.
Thanks, Ray. Our first question is going to come from Keith Idek at Boxing Scene. Keith, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions.
Thanks, Andrew. My first question is for Jonnie. Jonnie, I was just wondering, I hadn't seen a bout sheet before you replaced Gerald Washington. Were you scheduled to fight on the under, or were you just on standby kind of training in the events?
Everyone's going to have a different thought process about you. So it's time for you to prove yourself and, make them think what you want them to think. But the biggest thing is I'm going out there to, yes, go to battle. There's no way around it. They're watching the heavyweights. Gerald Washington did, unfortunately, step out. So now they want to, make sure that their demand for a fight is met. And that's all I'm coming to do is fight my heart out. And yes, I've seen Michael Coffey. Like you said, everyone's watching. Everyone hears his name now. Had an amazing breakout year. He's still going. And so, it just so happened I'm the man that he's got to get past now, not Gerald Washington. So we're going to make it all worth it.
I know that Gerald Washington obviously has fought a lot of top heavyweights and is a known name and everything, but how much maybe do you feel that you're a tougher fight for Coffey and that you've been very durable? You just went the distance with F.A. Ajagba. How do you feel maybe you're a better opponent?
Well, I definitely feel like, I can't say toughness or better, or I definitely feel like it's going to be a different type of opponent. You know what I mean? He was preparing for Gerald. Now he's not getting Gerald, he's getting Jonnie Rice. And it's going to be an exciting fight just because of the unknown, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely coming to prove myself. He's definitely coming to prove himself. So it's more of who's coming to prove themselves and who wanted more. So it's just exciting just in that aspect.
Thank you, Jonnie. I just have a question for Michael also. Michael, how would you compare Jonnie Rice to Gerald Washington in the sense that he has, he's gone the distance with some big punchers and everything, and obviously it is a different type of opponent?
So I guess when I look at Jonathan Rice, in my opinion, I feel like he might be a little bit more durable than Gerald Washington is. But, to me, that just makes for a better fight. He matches up. I mean, he's big, he's tall, I'm big, I'm tall. He has experience. He's been in there with, like you said, like some known prospects and stuff like that. And he's going the distance with them. So for me, I look at it as like, hey, everything lines up in the correct way, and it makes for a better fight for the fans. So I'm just ready to do that. I'm ready to give the fans what they're looking for.
Michael, I know this is all part of boxing, of course, but how much more difficult does it make it? You're getting a different opponent on less than a week's notice here. How much more, challenging does that make it to have a different opponent?
I mean, there's definitely some level of difficulty. How much, I really couldn't tell you until I got in the ring with him, move around a little bit. But I feel like that's just life, you know what I'm saying? That's the way life, nothing, you got to be prepared for things not to go the way you expect them to go. And come Saturday night, I'll be prepared.
Thank you, guys.
All right, great. Thank you, Keith. Our next question is going to come from Jim Conlon. Jim, you can unmute yourself and ask your question, please.
My question there is for Michael. Michael, I'm just wondering, how do you see the heavyweight picture now in terms of your development and how you want to progress? Is it really sort of steady development, or do you think that challenges like Derek Chisora or Dylan White could be around the corner for you?
I definitely think those names could be around the corner for me. You know, like, and sooner rather than later. You know, I think that what's worked out in my favor is the learning curve. You know, like I've been able to pick up the sport and pick up like intricate parts of the sport. You know, like the ring generalship and the mental toughness and everything like that. I've been able to pick those things up fast because to some degree I already had that, you know, coming into the sport. So I'm just, you know, continuously building on that in the gym and then displaying it in the ring and then going back to the gym and build again, brick by brick.
And my question now for John. John, I suppose being thrown into this fight coming in at the last minute, you've started coming in with everything to gain really and sort of nothing to lose. Does that almost make you more dangerous in terms of you can see the opportunity there and you're just so close now? If you can grab it, it can really propel you into the spotlight.
Well, that's the thing. The pressure is really on me right now. You know what I mean? The pressure's on me. Obviously Gerald Washington was a big name and everyone wanted to see how Michael Coffey did against Gerald Washington. You know, that's a fact. I wanted to see it as well. So now, you know, all of a sudden now they got to see. And so, yeah, for me, I got everything to gain. Like I said, when it comes to nothing to lose, I got a lot to lose as well. You know what I mean? I got a lot to lose as well because, you know, my pride on the line, my ego on the line all the time. So, you know, I'm only focused on what I got to gain, but I got a lot to lose too. And now this man's facing me. So, he got to prove himself against me, not Gerald. Just like, you know, I'm pretty sure that was his mindset. But, you know, my mindset is now, you know, I can also show that I'm better than Gerald too. So what's up?
Best luck to both fighters.
All right. Thank you, Jim. Our next question is going to come from Michael Gross. Michael, please unmute yourself and you can ask your questions. Michael, are you there?
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Apologies. How are both guys doing today? My first question is for Jonathan Rice. What was the thought or the feeling when you first got that call that you were going to be fighting Mike Coffey on 4 to 5 days notice?
I mean, my first thought obviously was, you know, am I prepared? And my immediate answer back was, yes, I am prepared. You know, then of course you're like, why? You know, it just being in the gym is not enough to prepare yourself. But, you know, I had just went through, honestly, 20 rounds of sparring with Michael Hunter, helping him get ready for his Triller debut. You know, I don't mean to cause any competition there. That's, you know, he's used to be with PBC, but now he's with Triller. So, you know, it was just, you know, right now, that's all I got to go on is that, you know, I don't have no doubt in myself right now, which is obviously what we work to do every day to, you know, destroy the doubt. And so I'm going to do my best to capitalize on those 20 rounds because I wasn't even supposed to spar all those rounds with Michael Hunter. Just a couple of his sparring partners didn't come in that day. So I got no excuse, honestly, y'all. You know, the 4-day notice, 5-day notice, it's honestly, I've been living the lifestyle. I put in the work and now, like I said, the pressure's on me, by me to display what I've been working on. And I'm excited. I get to do it in front of millions of people, literally, which is unreal. So now it's just, you know, handle business.
All right, thank you, Mr. Rice. My next question is for Coffey. Hey, man, I've seen you from the Wilder camp to doing interviews with you one-on-one and just seeing your development over time. I just want to know what has been the hardest thing about this journey and what's been the most enjoyable thing about your journey too.
I'll say the hardest thing is the training, but at the same time, it's also enjoyable for me because it's what I'm used to. Like, I always say, like, even if I wasn't boxing, I'd probably still be in the gym doing something, so, it's hard, but I also enjoy it. Now, like, the most enjoyable part is I'm even right now, I'm sitting here, I'm smirking, stuff like that, because I'm thinking about the fact that I get to participate in a sport that I love, and I haven't even been in it that long. So my love for the sport, I have a lot of years left to give, and I get to participate in the sport. It's a sanctioned fight, and I get paid to do it. To me, this is exciting. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do nothing but smile and feel blessed and thankful for everyone, for the PBC, Al Heyman, even you. Just like everyone has allowed me the opportunity to be on a platform and display what I have, and show the fans, what I can do.
How do you keep your focus knowing that Gerald Washington was supposed to be that next step up, kind of like barometer fight, to see if you are really, going to be a real contender in the heavyweight division? How do you keep your focus knowing that now you got to fight Jonathan Rice? And no disrespect to him, but he's not, maybe the media and the fans don't see him as that barometer like Gerald Washington was.
Well, my trainer always told me, like every camp we're training to fight the champion. So, I really don't think it matters too much that the opponent would switch. As far as physical statures, it's about the same. I know their fighting styles are different, but again, like I said, I was out like this camp. I was training to fight the champ. So whether it's Gerald Washington, Jonathan Rice, or any of the belt holders, it would have been the same. I would have put in the same effort in the gym, so I'm good to go. I'm ready.
Mr. Rice, Mr. Coffey, thank you guys so much. Best of luck to both of you guys come Saturday night.
Right.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Our next question is going to come from Jeremy Harridges. Jeremy, please unmute yourself and you can ask your question.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Jonnie. First question's for Michael. Michael, you get the news that Gerald Washington tests positive for COVID. What's your initial reaction? And then what's the process that you go through in order to prepare for Jonnie on such short notice?
Well, I mean, when I got the word, the first thing I said out loud was, "Are you serious?" You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like my first initial reaction. And then after that, it was like, all right, what's done is done. So now time to, look at his fights again, because I've seen him fight. I already knew who he was, because I watch everybody, and so it just I just had to go back, do some film study, and we just minor tweaks to what we were already doing, but other than that, I feel like everything's good. We're ready to go. And Saturday should be a good night.
What are the biggest differences that you see between Jonnie and Gerald and between how they are as boxers?
Well, I would say the biggest difference to me is durability. I would have to say that I think Jonnie Rice is a little bit more durable than Gerald Washington, because I mean, I like from the fights that I've seen. Especially fights where he's been in there with guys who've been considered punchers, he's managed to go the distance with them. Where with Gerald Washington, that's doesn't seem to be the case. He goes in there, he puts forth an effort, but it doesn't really work out in his favor as far as making it to that final belt. I see that Jonnie Rice has the ability to make it to the final belt, so it's my job to put a damper on that.
You've made a very fast ascent and a very high ascent within boxing in a short period of time. What are the attributes that you have that have aided you the most in rising so quickly?
Just the ability to focus in, compartmentalize, understand what the mission is, and then the game plan gets put forth, and I just follow the game plan. You know, like Marine Corps stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's basically it's like the same thing. We get an objective. You know, we're told what we need to do, how we need to do it, and then we go out there and we execute.
Final question for Jonnie. Jonnie, going back and looking at your fight with Efe Ajagba, what did you see when you looked that fight over that might be able to help you going into this fight with Michael?
I mean, if I'm being honest, you know, I took a shot that I didn't see from Efe that normally would put, you know, most people down. And it didn't put me down. So it did boost my confidence. So I plan to honestly, you know, focus more on my offense. And if I take a shot, I'm going to keep coming. So that's really what I'm going after. You know, I'm looking to put on an offensive show. So what's up? We're going to see what's going on. We're going to see what's good. We're going to see if we're going to learn quickly if I need to go back defensively, because I'm coming with a lot of offense. So that's what y'all need to expect. We're going to trust in taking them big shots and coming with and going to big shots of my own. So what's up?
You've known that you were on standby for Michael. Does that maybe give you the edge that you've kind of mentally had a little bit more time to prepare if you needed to fight him?
You know, oh shit.
Hello?
Yeah, I think we lost Jonnie there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
Jen Rice?
Oh, I lost y'all for a second.
Yeah,
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was just me either. I think he fell off. So, Jeremy, if you have any other questions for Michael, if not.
Sounds good. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy. Our next question is, obviously we only have Michael available right now, but John, if you'd like to ask a question, you can.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah. So thanks for being on, Michael. Thanks for taking the time this week. I mean, other media members did a great job of asking questions, but I was just wondering, if you can just speak, you turned to boxing relatively late. You turned pro after a short amateur career. Just want you to tell us what it means to be, headlining a show in front of a live crowd on national Fox television, what this landmark means to you.
It means a lot to me. It means that like everything that I've been doing in the gym, like the hard work I've been putting in is like paying off. And if I continue to put the work in, I can get the result that I want, and this is something that, in that short amateur career, this is something that I spoke about and I spoke into existence. I just didn't expect it to happen this fast, because like I said, this is not a normal situation. I know that, but I'm ready to make the most of it. And I'm glad I'm being given this opportunity.
Yeah. So further on that point, I mean, can you talk about the confidence you have in yourself? I mean, when you started boxing, when you turned pro, is this the level you expected to reach? Did you have expectations, even higher than this that continue to drive you? Or is it, are you exceeding your own expectations?
Honestly, I expect to reach the top. You know what I'm saying? I expect to reach the top. The only thing that was unforeseen was the road to get there, and so I won't say that I knew that this was the road I was gonna or the path I was gonna be on to get to the top. But I just knew like, for myself, I knew that like it didn't matter what path I had to take, I was willing to take it to get to where I want to be, which is the top. So, you know, that's why, you know, for someone who only had been boxing, who only had like 11 amateur fights, and as an amateur, you know, you get the call to go to camp to fight or to spar with Deontay Wilder. It was a no-brainer. I didn't hesitate to say yes. I was like, you know, book the flight. I'm there. You know, I don't even need to know, you know, if it's paid, if it's free, doesn't matter. All of it is an opportunity. You know, most of these guys that everyone names that I've been in the ring with, you know, I actually like hopped in my car and drove and went to them and asking them like, yo, you know, I know you got a fight coming up. You need sparring, right? You know, and I'm sitting here trying to like, I'm hustling, trying to sell myself, you know, showing, look, this is me sparring, this is me righty, this is me lefty, you know? So, you know, again, like I said, I expect to reach the top. My path to get there, it was unforeseen, but here we are, and I'm ready to go.
Okay, so one final question here. It's sort of a two-part question. So you grew up in New York. This is going to be in nearby New Jersey. Wondering, you know, first, if you're expecting to have, you know, supporters there, and what that's going to be like. I know, you know, your career has moved so fast. You've had actually a lot of fights, you know, out of your whole career in the bubble during the pandemic. And, you know, related to that, just wondering what type of show fans can expect. Are you looking for a knockout? Are you looking for an exciting fight? You know, as the headliner here, what kind of a show are you planning to put on for the fans?
So as far as what I'm looking for, I'm looking to win. I want a knockout for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking to win. And I'm looking to do it dominantly. And I'm looking for it to be exciting. But yeah, I want a knockout for sure. And, you know, I would say, I think I fought like one fight on the PBC with a crowd. And then, you know, the pandemic happened like a month later. And so, yeah, the next three had been in the bubble, no crowd. You know, there's a certain energy that, you know, the crowd gives you, and a certain like healthy level of fear that the crowd gives you. You know what I'm saying? And I want that. You know, I want that because it'll make it so that I go out there and I do damage. I do more than what you saw in the bubble.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You've been extremely generous with your time. Thank you as well to Andrew and Ray as well. Good luck on Saturday night.
Appreciate you.
Thanks very much, John. Michael, before we let you go, just final comments as you prepare to headline this upcoming Saturday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific time from Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. It is Fox PBC Fight Night, live on Fox and Fox Deportes, brought to you by TGB Promotions. And also tickets still available at Ticketmaster.com. Michael Coffey, your first headlining affair live on Fox. Give us your final thoughts as you prepare for your showdown against Jonnie Rice.
Final thoughts is, hey, first I want to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to showcase my skills on their platform. Even for you guys, the interviewers and everything like that, to give me a chance give people the chance to get to know me and who I am and what I'm about. And on Saturday night, expect, fireworks. We the big guys. So, expect big shots, expect blood, because, you're going to get it all. And, I see you on Saturday.
And also thank you for your service that you gave to our great country. We greatly appreciate what you were able to do for us, serving in the Marine Corps. And also all the best of luck to you on Saturday night. We look forward to seeing you at the weigh-in and then at the fight on Saturday night.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate you.
Michael Coffey, thanks to Michael Coffey. Thank you to Jonnie Rice. Thank you to Vito Mielnicki Jr. Also, thank you to James Martin. Thank you to our entire staff. We'll see you guys tomorrow at the weigh-in and then on Saturday, live on Fox. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your Thursday.